However, it has been a hot moment. So, for whoever would like to, what happened on our last session of Stake My Heart?
We beat up the dude who was very scary, and Rust went into the other world back in time to go and, he went into the church with Nora, and there was a bunch of scaries. They held in there, and we beat up a bunch of shadow blobbies broke. And then at the end of it all, girl turned out to be goddess.
Yep.
She came back. And then it was basically hot, spicy, god and goddess argument. And we were like, well, peace. We did our thing. Bye-bye.
Some hot, spicy girl-on-girl action.
Oh, no.
For free?
That is indeed what happened. Thank you for that. And please take a tick of inspiration.
Yay!
It outweighs the DM inspirations that I got.
Oh, thank you.
So indeed, that was what occurred on the last session that we had. As you guys sit outside of the town of Paradise, you hear it being bombed into oblivion by the gods. It is a destructive night, and you wake up to the morning, mostly to like a column of smoke back from the canyon that you had left. The road extends out before you. For you to continue to your journey, but we do have a few things of note. Firstly, because a certain player has decided to leave our party, we will wish him goodwill, and in the game, at some point, Kaz, having heard a rumor about his little boat boy, he decides to go back to where the hobgoblins were, back down the path, and see what they can do to help him acquire his good friend. And Kaz decides to leave the party. Additionally,
and we rob him blind.
Additionally,
Take all his shit.
regardless of any mechanical robbing that has been done to the inventory to make sure that the items don't go to waste.
It's canon. I rob him.
What is canon is there was a certain loot section of the dungeon that was opened that you were not given. So open up those inventories because there's more stuff to add to them. There are also links for you to find them. Enjoy.
Good.
Loot.
Oh my god.
A movable rod.
Oh yeah, did we add his gold into our inventory as well?
It went to the group inventory. Oh,
Okay.
no, the personal gold, no. And since no one claimed it, you can take it.
Yay! It's scrolls. See, it is canon.
I hate democracy. Okay, whatever.
That's not even democracy.
Canon.
That's like failure to vote.
Shane, look at which book that is. Hate that.
Read.
Copying.
I grabbed the back of her. I grabbed the back of Alana.
Shane, that's the Tome of Understanding. That's the Wisdom Up book. So
Wait!
Ooh.
You can go over 20 with that!
You understand?
I'm gonna read for a minute.
Shane, take
For
that
48
book!
hours. Don't mind me.
Oh, what is the shield? Wait.
A fun shield. I was just like scrolling down a big list of items. I'm like, what the hell is that? I like it. Yes, you must love the tomes. The tomes very good.
Use your action to take that damage down to creatures. Ooh. Interesting shield.
Oh, I can make my claws do even more claws.
Interesting lantern.
Armor of
maybe.
fire resistance, studded leather. I forget what that lantern does. Hold up.
Does a lot.
It's neat.
Was that the one that Chris had?
That is a good question. I cannot confirm or deny. I don't think so. I think she had something different. But I could be wrong. That was a long time ago.
That is a fun lantern. That looks fun.
That might be a scraw thing, honestly.
Scraw.
The lantern?
lantern.
Yeah, that might be fun for Scraw.
The cloak of protection is also always good.
Yeah.
Bless, wait, this would let me, like, see in places.
You would have a permanent glow.
Oh, true, yeah.
I want the lantern. I
kind of like the. I point my fingers. The immovable rod is always fun. I'd like to have that. That's always a little goofy.
He's rolling greed on it. Or he's rolling need, rather.
Huh. Do you want the claws HB?
I mean, I think I'm the only one who can. No, wait.
Cat
you go
claws.
natural. You also.
I would not.
Elf.
Right.
My shapeshift is for more of my spirit that I would rather use it for.
Then,
Then-
gotcha. I mean, yeah, no. Then I'll slap those.
My
claws
animal
on me.
shape.
That gives me a good +1 to my claw swipes if I ever need it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna add the gold to the group inventory before I forget, though.
It is a hefty amount of gold. 100 gold and 55 platinum.
55 peepees.
And don't forget the +1 short bow.
Yes.
I
who
couldn't
wants
imagine
the
who wants that.
bow?
Hmm.
Interesting.
The +1 is magic, so it's just a generic magic weapon. Cutting through all those other
Neato.
resistances.
Neato. I would like the short bow.
All right, now here's when I ask HB. Do you want the shield or the cloak, bud?
I'm still using my two-handed weapon, so this is more of a you can have the shield if you want. I'll take the cloak, unless somebody else wants the cloak.
I mean,
Magic items are hard.
I will take both if you give me the option.
Like
I will
said, I'll
become
take
the Omega tank.
Like I said, I'll gladly take the cloak of protection, and you take the shield because I still use a two-handed greatsword.
Yeah, I'll take the shield. I'll take the shield. I sword
Okay,
and board it.
There's also the studded leather. I don't know if Alana can wear that. I forget what kind of
I
armor
can
he
wear
used.
studded leather. I have
And-
normal studded leather. I could have it fire resistance and be more of a fire babe.
And it
it's
would
so
also be
fitting
good for
for you if
Scraw
you
as
got the
well, so it
fire.
just depends on what you
It's
want.
already hot, so
Because I think we all have
Fire
studded
lady.
leather right now.
I feel like it would be a shame to not give the fire lady the fire
Yeah.
studded
Fire
leather.
Yes.
armor. Now I could light myself on fire whenever I want.
I mean,
God,
that would
she's
be
so
a
hot.
power move.
Okay.
gosh, she's so hot. Bursts into flames. Oh wait, hold on.
Cool.
Stop.
Oh wait,
Take a breath.
hold up.
And most important for me, and I believe it was Alana, but they're taking the Tome of Understanding.
Yes.
Cool, cool, cool. Very good, very good.
Who wants the rod?
I believe
I dibs the rod. I fucking
Oh,
love the
you
rod.
claimed.
Okay.
The rod. It's so fucking. Immovable rod is such a stupid item, but it's so useful.
It's
when
the puzzle breaking item.
I'm a little sad that there was not an immovable rod in the D&D movie.
Bummer.
True.
There was a
Call it a
scene where
scene.
like they put a rod in like a monster's mouth.
And you thought for a second, is this
Yeah,
it?
it's like here it is, but it wasn't. It was just a rod.
Oh.
It was just a
It
staff.
was just a regular fucking rod.
So how long was the rod again? It was just like the equivalent of like a stick, or is it like a proper pole?
I think it's described as a staff.
I think
but
it is a
I'll-
staff, yeah. It can
Right.
be used as a weapon, like staff, right?
All right, sweet.
Flat
So,
iron rod is how they describe it. It is 2 pounds. It does not. Oh wait, hold on. Moving the fixed rod. No, that's not it. Yeah, it
doesn't.
doesn't give it length, so I just assume
So-
it as like a walking cane or staff, something
Yeah.
like that.
so question:
Mhm.
How when it comes to pressing the button for the rod, does it mean like it's instant, like the magic drops immediately, right?
When
like it.
deactivating it, yes.
Do you think you would allow if I could just monkey pull it, just like the idea of just like I jump and then the momentum just keeps on
It's
carrying
like,
me forward? while
like
I'm
the
on
Ninja
rod?
Warrior
It would
full
take
swinging.
an acrobatics check, but yes, that is possible.
I love that. Yeah, no, that's exactly why I love the rod. It's so stupid. How do we get over the acid pit? Observe.
God.
All right, I think everything has been claimed.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. Is there anything else that I need to do on my end? Yes, there is, and I just thought of it, and I'm glad I did, because that will become important for future me. That's going to be fun. Neat. Very well. Otherwise, as said, you guys are on a lonely trail to the southeast of Paradise. You can no longer see the village. It is beyond the little craggy mountains that are beyond the pass. You guys can do anything you want as a group, or you can continue forward if you choose.
I think we're just gonna keep going,
I'm good
right?
to go. Yeah.
We
It's
go
like-
back and fight the glue.
Right now?
It's right there.
It's right there. That's loot.
I
That's loot.
can't
You gotta
stop
get
you.
every treasure.
There is no treasure in the gloom. Be forewarned. Also gonna do some future calculations over here. Don't mind me. Bloop.
Oh.
So let me just let's see the other claw. I'm just adding still stuff, but yeah, I'll follow.
Understood. Oh yes.
I can't add Ghost Lantern to my inventory.
Yeah, you cannot click and drag. You have to do it the hard way, but I can make it easier. Ghost Lantern. And then we'll do some sick copy and pasting skills.
I just did
Cool.
one of these.
Oh, that's quite smart, actually. Where is
I just
your
typed it in.
There ain't no shame. Firstly,
So
I'm
I
gonna put it
just-
here.
I
Ghost
just get a
Lantern.
bunch of AC if I have a bunch of friends around me.
Oh.
Go max of 3.
So what I'm going to do, Masay, it's going to pop up at the bottom of your thing. Do.
Oh right, I have Sentinel now.
Here it is.
Sentinel good.
It should show up now, and you can move that where you want to.
Oh
Thank
right.
you.
Technically, we're not 8 yet because we haven't rested yet. I forgot.
Didn't sleep.
Yes, you have not rested. You guys are weary and battle worn, so take your next steps wisely.
There's only one way to go.
Also, to bring up the chat, they are also reduced in max HP for some of them.
Yeah.
Ow.
by a lot.
They are struggle busting at the
Yeah.
moment.
I'm struggling.
Still winning though, still taking the W's, but it's not fun.
It doesn't feel like I'm taking a W. Alright, guys, let's get it!
Let's get it.
Bleh.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. The movements of the Vulgar Brigade have already been calculated for the next 2 movements, so don't worry about that.
Ooh.
I reduce our rations.
And please, yes, reduce rations.
Rations have been reduced.
Hell yeah. Meanwhile,
I'm
though.
scared.
Yes, you are going to strange places. You can you continue down the worn paths here. The area is very desertish, as you have come to get used to in this mountainous, craggy area. There's not a lot of water. Any creek that you find is more of an arroyo, so it doesn't really have water running through it at the time. There is the distant lake off to the west, but it is a mere idea, so you have to rely on your full canteens and hope they get you by for the long travel ahead. However, as you're heading down the lonely road, a very small space indeed, you see what seems to be how to describe it. There's a hunched over person dressed in black far in the distance. They're still about 1,000 or more feet away, but you can tell that they're generally humanoid shaped, and they seem to be sitting on the side of the road. The road itself is maybe no more than, I'd say, 7 feet across. so you can like go around them once you get there. But there's no avoiding this. There's no like walking off because there's a cliff to your right and mountains to your left. But you have time to prepare as you walk.
There's so many people always sitting by the road on this path up here.
It's spooky. I don't like that.
Please don't be a cultist. Please don't be a cultist.
Beyond anything, if you choose to continue, let me know. Or choose to do something different.
Scraw would like to keep a guidance up.
Continue with caution? Question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest will continue with caution, but he tries his best to not, like, make it be visible.
Indeed. You are quite visible, unfortunately, in the hot day's sun. You get within about 100 feet of the individual that seems to be there. As you get closer, you can begin to hear them, and they seem to be talking. Whether to themselves or someone else is difficult to say, but they seem to be like... not speaking rhythmically, but speaking consistently, and it sounds like they're saying the same thing over and over. Again, you're about 100 feet out. Also, they are female. They do seem to be a bit older. But that is all you can tell from this distance. Shall you continue?
Could we be able to make out what they're saying at this distance?
Not at this distance.
Oh no. I don't like that.
Can I make a perception check just to see if there's anybody around this person, or if this is just literally just the singular old lady?
Sure.
Perception.
That's pretty good. Yeah, looking around and studying the area a little more. The area seems to be quite calm. They seem to be the only person that is in this area. Down off the cliffside, you do see there are a variety of animals that are just doing their own thing down there. Up in the sky, you also see some large birds, suspiciously large, which makes you decide not to climb the mountains to your left. But otherwise, the area seems safe beyond the one person who is speaking down the road.
Understood. Should be fine. If anything should be a problem, we have the number advantage. Just keep calm. I'm just gonna keep on walking.
As you will. The group gets to about 50 feet out from this individual, and at this point, you can begin to hear what they are chanting. Arms for the blind. Change one's fortune. Arms for the blind.
Scraw puffs up.
Wants to cut off the arm. We said arms for the blind.
Wowie.
Alms.
Oh.
I'm in pain.
They would be in pain if you cut off their arms. And this is what you hear at 50 feet out.
We do have a lot of gold.
Could also
Unless-
give them food. We have plenty of rations.
Yeah, if they're just...
We
if
could
there's-
give them wine.
There could be... I mean,
Just
we
start
do
get
have...
out of free jail.
We gotta give them ambrosia.
Give him the deuces card. Make him get lucky. Let him be happy. Let me see quickly. How much? I forgot. I closed down the group inventory. Let me open that really quick. Whoop! There you go. We do have a bar of gold.
That's 500 gold. Fuck no. No.
Yeah, that's a whole bar of gold. Why?
We just walk by, clunk, and just keep walking. Russ will approach the lady.
Indeed.
And,
They continue as well as you approach. Arms for the blind. Change one's fortune.
I'm sorry to see that you have been finding yourself all the way out here in the forest. You're kind of far away from more livable places if you're asking for the money.
Uh,
Food to survive.
As you speak to them, they remain in their little crisscross applesauce on the ground, but they do look up to you at the sound of your voice. You see that they are entirely missing their eyes, only black remains of what the where the eyes should be. They have a crusty old nose and are missing a number of teeth, and they hold out their hands to you and say, "A traveler, thank you. Thank you for listening. Alms for the blind."
Russ kind of turns to the group and say, "You good if we give them something?"
Out of your pocket, sure.
Yeah, we'll do that then. Just kind of just reluctantly, it's like we kind of have a own thing going on, but here, at least for me, he's gonna put his this is a blind woman. He would probably have done this in the past. He's gonna put all his 5 gold pieces that he has just into that person's palm.
Understood.
There you go.
You place the 5 gold into their palm, and with their left hand, it snatches onto your other hand. They have a surprising amount of strength. Like, you're fighting. It's like this is a full-grown warrior who's just, like, grabbed your arm. They twist it around and move your hand in such a way where they opened your free hand. And they say, "Thank you. You shall change your fortune." And with a swift movement, they drop something into your hand. They then let you go entirely. They put the coins into a small little alms giving box, and they shake it around. It makes the little jingles of coins. And then they continue to repeat, "Alms for the blind, change one's fortune."
Rust seems kind of perplexed at the moment, especially from the strength, and just... He kind of just stands in front of her for a bit and just opens his palm just to see what she dropped in there.
There are 5 electrum in your hand.
No!
Okay.
Worthless!
Well, I mean... Fair enough. He's just gonna look at the electrums like... Right. Boy, you're out here by yourself, and like... And you have the strength, but do you hunt for yourself, or... How do you make sure you feed yourself? I hope you're not starving.
"Alms for the blind." They begin to jingle the box, and they're pointing it in the direction of the rest of the party. It's almost as if they've forgotten that you're even there.
Huh.
Hmm.
Scraw. Oh, I had a thought. Scraw will part with 2 gold.
A similar display plays out. Even if you try to move your hand, they're able to toss in some electrum into your free hand very quickly, almost supernaturally quickly. You also take 2 electrum into your inventory.
Scraw
Man.
looks at it. How shiny is Electrum?
They're very pretty. They're like a turquoise color, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no.
Scraw lights up. Scraw's hackles like puff out. He takes out 10 more gold and gives it to her.
Here's a picture
Nora,
just for the
protect the
record.
sack.
No,
Not quite
no.
turquoise, but it's like a... Oh, that is a fucked up picture. Not quite turquoise, but it's like a dark silver.
Scraw
Ooh.
likes the shiny.
And you said you're giving an additional 10?
Yes.
You receive an additional 10.
Scraw is happy. Scraw's little feathers are quivering as he jingles the coins in his little hands and inspects each one.
Very good, very good. In the similar fashion to Rust, the woman seems to forget that you're even there and continues to ask for alms. As a reminder, you don't have to do this. She's just asking. She's a simple beggar. Winky face.
I have no individual wealth, so all of my money is in the group inventory.
Me too.
To itself, you're poor as well.
There's no shame
are
in being
collective.
anti-capitalist.
We're collectively rich. Our money.
Scrawl kind of like looks at her a bit, and then he ruffles around in his bag, and he gives her a bar of soap.
Interesting.
Scott just said, "Bro, you stink." This is-
Oh my god!
You place the soap in the almsgiving box. It lands with a slight bit of weight as it does, but they do not seem to react. You also get a strange feeling that you should not take that bar of soap anymore.
Oh,
Well, it's hers now.
With
You
extreme-
can clean yourself sometime.
Alms
soap is
for
hard
the
to get.
blind. Change your fortune.
With extreme speed, the lady licks the bar of soap. It's now hers. You can no longer take it back.
oh, take these backies.
Mine now.
Nora will just start to keep on walking.
Shall everyone else?
Yes.
As everybody kind of passes by, Rest will take one of his own rations and kind of like just places it in front of her and just keeps walking after that. So I'll mark off one ration.
Understood. As you walk away, she continues to provide her rhythmic speech until you are too far away to make out the individual words, and then until you can't hear it all.
By the way, it's kind of a strange question since has Rust ever dealt with electrum pieces before?
They are not commonly used. You are aware that they are sometimes used in the Underdark. They are sometimes used in quote-unquote foreign currencies, but you have not encountered any of those. And they're generally a rare form. Mostly, commoners will stick to copper and silver. Adventurers tend to move in gold, and nobles or royalty tend to operate in gold and platinum.
Gotcha. So electrum feels more like in the greater scheme of things, more like a forgotten currency. It's
Essentially,
just
yes.
It's just
It's like the $2 bill.
Unironically, sorta.
Alright,
Scrawl
cool.
just keeps trilling in the background as he plays with his electrum.
I mean, I think it's probably would be the first time for us to probably ever see electrum pieces. I think like he's heard of them, but it's like he didn't really ever see him, so he's just kind of also studying one of them, just like, huh? It's like that's interesting.
Very, very good. That is that encounter. You may move as you please.
Eyeball time.
Like I said, we should have just given her the bar of gold, just an entire bar of electrum back.
Oh my god.
2 rations.
2 rations.
I will mark it down. 2 rations. Yes. Save changes. Yes. Eyeball.
Indeed, indeed. As you continue on, the path gets more narrow as you come across the very thin space that navigates this particular path. You do see a ruined sign that seems to read in a foreign language that none of you understand. If you have any ways of translating that language, you may certainly try, but at glance, I do not believe anyone understands it.
I
sure about
know common, primordial, dwarven, and giant.
Common and elvish for Rust.
Common, Aarakocra, Auron, and Thieves' Cant.
Whoa. Common, druidic, elvish, giant. Why do I know giant?
Unironically.
Oh yeah.
Let me actually double check because I think
Thieves'
you
Cant
might be able
what?
to see it.
It's giant. Calling it now. It's giant.
It is not giant. However, it might be related to giant.
Because I also know giant, because my runes are giant.
That is true.
You're
That
a
is a thing.
giant.
That's why I know dwarven, because
I
dwarven is
can-
also kind of like giant.
I can speak big.
Where
I
the-
speak in all caps.
That is just the
Kinda
giant
is
language. Just
giant,
all.
yeah.
That's just all caps. It's not because it's not not good. It's just they can't see it else. They just need to write it that big.
Primordial. I
There's what
speak
I'm
the
looking for.
language of the elements.
Ah, I was wrong. Oh no, I was right. Okay. In inspecting it, for those who speak giant, looking at it, it looks like it's Dwarvish because giant uses the same script as Dwarvish, but it's written very incorrectly if it is Dwarvish. You determine that it's some other language related to Dwarvish.
Knowing both the giant and dwarven, could I like make a history check to try to figure out just what language it is in general?
Sure, either a history
No.
or a straight intelligence check.
I'll history it.
Go use that brain.
Yeah.
It might
Yeah!
not work.
This is a foreign language that you are not privy to. This is not one that you're used to.
I don't know what it says. I cannot read that. I can kind
These-
of read that, but it looks stupid.
Looks like ruins to me. I cannot speak this.
Who writes like this? It's so sloppy.
Scraw is barely even paying attention.
Still playing with the electro.
Wait, no,
Yep.
you guys know what this is?
Huh?
It's fucking. I don't have to obey the sign because I can't read it.
Yeah. Careful, minefield. I can't read.
Read this.
Nevertheless, leaving the sign behind, you continue further southeast on the road as the road increasingly becomes more narrow and it starts folding into these very large mountains that angle it on either side. You feel really boxed in here. It's not very comfortable compared to the slightly more open, although more dangerous road you'd traveled beyond prior to this. There are also a few bridges that cross this area, and they are not good bridges. They're missing several planks. Some of the rope looks like it's fraying. It looks like they could give out on at any time. Could everyone please, what kind of check? Give me a stealth check.
Oh no.
One at a time, or
Uh,
are we going
all
across
together.
one at a time? Ooh.
Ruh-roh, we're being stealthy. Oh no.
Whoa.
Oh no. Let's see, where is my stealth?
Oh my god, Shane.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Have I used that yet?
Oh,
Clink, 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 clink.
I have not used that today.
Mm.
I will use my pass without a trace because I know mine's gonna be a disadvantage too.
Understood. That's a 23,
Whoa.
I believe.
Yes. It adds plus 10 to everybody's.
I'm gonna just count that for you, and this passes the check anyway, so you're fine. This is basically seeing how gently and gingerly you guys can cross the bridge, and inevitably you do make it to the other side. Nothing goes wrong with the bridge, so you're safe.
Oh.
I swear to God, is this... Was there fucking troll on the bridge? Is this what was happening? Is this like... Hold on.
Oh, that was
Hold
troll
on.
language.
Hold
Oh,
on.
God.
My gamer brain is thinking, what the fuck was this? Anyway, whatever, moving on.
Hey, the toll.
You continue.
The troll toll.
You continue deeper into the cavern, and the walls seem to tower almost as if they are unnatural here. It makes you very concerned, and you can also additionally see a distant salt pillar to the east somewhere behind all the mountain ranges, which gives you great confidence. However, as you're continuing down the road, you begin to hear something. Cling, 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 cling.
Is it metallic sounding?
Yes,
Is it like clashing weapons type sounds? Or...
sounds like it.
Huh.
Somebody fighting.
Can we tell what direction it's coming from?
Further down the canyon.
Well, that doesn't sound like it has anything to do with us. Scraw keeps walking.
I
If
mean, we
they're
could just
fighting in
take
the direction we're going, though, that could still be our problem in the end.
take it slow. Make sure to keep your eyes open. If there's fighting going on and we don't want to get ourselves involved, it could be the brigade. We just let them fight it out, and once we're done, we just keep moving.
As you continue walking down the road, you come to a particular like high vantage point. The road seems to like twist and curve downward, deeper into the canyon below. But far in the distance, it's really hard to determine how far. You do see that there seem to be two humanoid figures, and they are fighting in heated combat. One has a shield and a sword. The other one seems to be armed with some sort of two-handed weapon or greatsword, and they are just going at it.
Do they seem like this is a training session, or is this like a fight for your life scenario?
It looks violent, but you can't really, like, from this distance determine, like, if they're landing solid blows. You'd have to be a lot
Right.
closer. You also note that going deeper into the canyon, because of the curvier road, you will lose vision on them as you continue toward their direction.
How far away are they at this point?
A far distance. You're, like, way over there.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we just keep going until it becomes relevant, or we could also just park up here and see who dies.
We could do that also. I swear, like, I'm not sure if I'm having like a fever dream, but did I pick up like a spyglass or something? Like, is that, or did I just Mandela effect that somewhere? It's like I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Did we do that?
Sounds familiar for some reason. I think there was, like, some sort of, like, magnifying glass or spyglass in the office, but I'm not sure if anyone took it.
I mean, if
I don't
that's-
remember.
I absolutely did not take that. I just saw the key and I went for that. But
I did not take it.
I swear there was like a talk or like at least having like something glass related like that. I'm not sure. It's fine.
I will say,
If
if
we
it
don't
was
have-
there, it was not good quality, so it would not really help.
It's fine. It's all good anyway. I swear there was something like this. But okay. Now if we can observe for a bit, give it a bit of time, see what happens, and then maybe one of them dies. You know.
It's kind of morbid sitting here waiting for one of them to die.
Could also potentially just be a training session. We could just, if they seem more, well, not aggressive, we could potentially approach.
If they are aggressive, just let them tire each other out. We can pick off whoever's left.
That's also a thing.
Shall you wait or shall you continue?
I think we wait for a little bit and just
Mhm.
observe.
Yeah,
Understood.
we just little creepers on the ridge side, just little looking over.
I'm watching you.
About an hour passes, and the two black dots on the horizon continue their epic combat. It doesn't sound like they slow down at any point. You don't hear any of their voices. You also don't hear any, like, screams of injury. They just seem to be going at it just like they were an hour ago. Untiring, unceasing.
That's alarming.
I read my book for 1 hour.
That's the thing you can do.
Oh!
Dude,
One
you're-
down.
You can stay up like all night and read.
Yeah, I got 4 extra hours every night.
Additionally, though, for the sake of the weird travel mechanics we have, it will consume 2 long rests to finish the book.
Okay.
But you've basically
Understood.
got 2 long rests, like, lined up. There's basically no way you can't do it.
Yeah, the way I'm figuring what we do is whenever we're traveling, I'm just popping open this book and reading it.
This is the one time where I'm like, man, I should have taken that next level in fighter and should have gotten know your enemy. Oh well. Guess we're not finding out these guys what they're doing.
It does not look like they're appearing to be stopping anytime soon. We should just approach.
If they're in our way, then yeah, let's just approach them and see what happens.
Duh.
Just keep yourself ready.
I'm realizing with Kez not being here anymore, I don't slip into French anymore.
You can finally be yourself again, huh?
And stay full Russian, yes.
Babushka. You guys continue down into the winding path that heads further down into the canyon. You continue to hear the clank of metal and the bashes of steel on wood as you continue on. But at some point during this journey, as you continue down an elevation, the noises stop.
Like very abruptly, or was there any scream, or it's just like just clank and gone?
No scream, and also not suddenly. It just seems like every once in a while, maybe there's like a loud gust of wind, and it just grew a little quieter. It was just harder to hear. Maybe they moved further away. But then after a while, after like winding through this path, there is no sound from them at all. The only sound comes from your boots on the gravel.
Cool, it's more ghosts. I love ghosts. We've dealt with so many the past few days.
I'm tired of them.
Yeah, I think I can also live with not seeing a couple ghosts.
Any ghost listening, you better fuck off. We have holy water and we're not afraid to use it.
You speak to the rocks around.
I am
Skrull
a
looks
rock.
down at his brand new ghost lantern, pats it, and says, "Not you, little buddy."
The ghost smiles.
Jal, you
But
continue.
none of them.
I guess so.
Yes, please. Yes, absolutely.
You eventually find your way out of the winding part of the canyon. The mountains around tower even higher, almost as if they were skyscrapers. Everything here feels larger, and you feel much smaller as you walk through. However, as you continue down the path, at a distance, you see what seem to be two bodies. They are in dark clothing, and they lie on opposite sides of the road, leaned up against a tiny little bit of clearing where there's just a huge variety of boulders.
Do they just seem to be staring at each other and not really, like, doing anything?
They seem to be prone and on the ground.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, like bodies, like they're dead?
Perhaps.
Uh-oh.
You would have to get closer.
Hey, you two, we saw you fighting earlier. You can stop the dead act.
Yeah, like, are you guys good?
Do you actually say that out loud?
Yes.
I join in with that.
Your voices echo down the canyons. There is no movement from the bodies.
Skrull throws a rock.
Just a fucking, just kook.
It clatters a few times on the ground, maybe like bumps a few other rocks that clatter as well. There is no reaction from the people.
Cool. More fucking. Oh, I hate it here.
The rest just kind of like, alright, you take the left side, I take the right side. If any one of them jumps up, we at least take one each.
Okay. Also, I didn't mean to post that. Ignore that. I just wanted to read it. I posted it on accident.
You cast it immediately, they become hostile.
No!
Shall you
Alright.
approach?
I take my side.
Mouse takes the other side.
You go in your defensive approach. The bodyguards in front, everyone else at a distance, ready to react. You come basically, quote unquote, in range of these bodies on the sides of the road. You do see that they are bodies. They do seem to be dressed in all black, which is dangerous, at least to say in this the heat that is here. But additionally, you see that they seem to be producing a dark purple gaseous substance that seems to be leaving their bodies.
Oh no, I'm not approaching anymore.
It is almost as if like a blackish purplish smoke.
I don't like that.
This seems like a okay.
Are they okay?
They're leaking.
They're like, it's not blood. It's more like
Gross!
it's more like Smoke-ish?
It's like purple gas.
That's worse.
Additionally, as you mentioned blood, you do note that there's none. None anywhere. None near the bodies, none near where they've been laying, none in the road, and none anywhere near where they could have been engaged in combat.
I say we just pass? Don't disturb? And just keep walking.
Just keep on moving,
Uh,
right?
Scraw starts to walk and tries to just like keep as far
How-
distance from these two bodies as possible.
How far away are these two from each other?
Maybe like 7 feet to the right and then 10 feet to the left if you're standing directly in the center of the road.
Could I cast Divine Sense
Post Divine Sense, so I
just-
can read it.
and just get a feeling for these two with Russ, Paladin Mumbo Jumbo?
Dude, he got the mumbo and the jumbo. It's jumbo mumbos.
Mumbo Jumbo. Jumbo Mumbo.
Yes, yes,
Eek 'em,
yes.
boke 'em.
You can do this.
That's like as the kind of like it kind of just walks by, just like as soon as he's in range, he kind of just concentrates on himself and just looks at both of them. And what vibe does he get up?
They come back to you as undead.
Right.
They do not seem to react to your casting.
Just be careful. They do seem to be undead creatures, but
Oh, additionally, the places where they are resting seem to be desecrated.
could this? Can I make a shot in the dark and say could I potentially roll like a history check or like a religion check to see? Could this be like just two people who are cursed in like an ever-ending duel type shit?
You can do a religion check to see if there's any divine influence on these people's either encounter or their
Yeah.
circumstance. You can do a investigation check to observe the area and or their bodies from a distance to see if there's anything that you can conclude, or you can make an arcana check.
I'll take those are awesome. Those are awesome plus zeros I got. I'll take a.
So it more depends on what you're looking for rather than what the roll could be.
I feel like this is. I'm gonna focus on the fact that this place is desecrated, so I'm gonna go for religion.
Indeed, indeed. What you know is that desecration is generically bad. When something becomes desecrated, it has been corrupted in a religious sense to such a point that whatever is desecrated is stronger than its natural form in whatever qualities it would normally have. So, for instance, if you go into a church that has been consecrated, it's a very nice place, and your religion duties or actions are just generally better. If you do the opposite in somewhere that's desecrated, negative religious actions are much stronger than normal.
Right.
Given that these two bodies themselves seem to be desecrated and the land that they're directly sitting on is desecrated, they've been involved in something, although you could not hazard a guess to what. But it's certainly bad. A more honorable person might try to relieve them of their struggle and or try to consecrate them, but that takes a risk in approaching them.
Spicy bad.
It is very
It is
spicy
very
bad.
spicy. The fact is more, if it would be, my fear in this is like, on one hand, approaching would be fun seeing if we can fuck around with this, fuck it, we ball. But on the other hand, my fear is that if we fuck up, that best case scenario, one of them attacks us. Worst
Hey.
case scenario, both of them do.
The graph for fucking around and finding out is linear.
Hey, just just putting this out there. I literally have ceremony that has funeral rite. So
Right. That could absolutely be a thing we could do because I feel like these like I said, gut feeling. This is like a case where it's just people like being cursed to fight forever, basically.
There is the ceremony special effects too, which is you can just consecrate something.
As I was about to say, although ceremony does have funeral rites, you cannot give rites to something that is desecrated. It is beyond religious touch. But as stated in this document, there's a special move that I've given, it's homebrew, for ceremony that actually lets you consecrate things.
Ooh. Well, hey.
You gotta touch it for an hour.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh wait, no, it's consecrated. Oh, never mind.
It follows the normal, it follows the normal rules of ceremony, but this is just a special effect.
So, I only have one spell slot. Does that mean we just flip a coin on who we choose?
I believe ceremony is a ritual, so you can cast it for free.
We could technically cast for free, and we could get both. It just depends on
take
what
10 minutes.
Yeah, it takes 10 minutes.
Okay.
The larger
Takes
concern,
an extra 10 minutes, yeah.
you will have to approach and or touch these clearly bad boys.
Could for the sake of it, if we're doing this, then Rust is going to approach to one of them. Probably the closest one to his position. I'm not sure which one that'd be. I'd assume the one on the left. Can I first just get Rust is gonna call Alana. Alana, can you see the smoke? Is this something like, I understand this is something bad, but do you think you can discern anything what this shit should do?
Yeah, I wanted to ask if, like, what exactly I would know about this weird stuff.
Give me an Arcana check, and I will add a modifier to it.
Arcana, gulp.
I don't want to give you advantage.
Checks.
We're
15.
not-
Oh, okay.
Boys. Ooh, pretty good though.
In looking at this, you can't be 100% certain, but this does look like a little bit of occult nonsense. It's a guess, but you feel fairly confident in that guess. One concern you have, knowing a bit about the occult and seeing the state of these bodies, and also what you witnessed higher up, like further back on the path, if these people have been corrupted to a point where they are not dead, and we do know that they are undead, in their current state, I might add, they look dead, but they are still alive and still undead. Disturbing them would likely activate them, and that would be concerning for your group.
How hurt are we actually, though?
I think you guys aren't that hurt, but you guys have no resources is the problem.
I have one spell slot at 2nd level. That's all.
I have go on.
I have 37 max hit points.
My HP is cut in half, and I am out of rune uses.
I have one support dice left. I should still have my my lay on hands. I have 2 hit dice left. I think no, I think the hit dice should be no. I have 2 hit dice left. Wait, we did have a short rest, right, over the course of the journey?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, then okay, my support dice, they should be back to 4. So I have those back, and then I have that. I have second wind. I have my extra action. 2 hit dice. I mean, I think I'll be okay because my max HP is still like good. I just took a little bit of damage, but my concern is more Nora. Like that's just that shit hurting. And if both of these fuckers start attacking us, we're gonna have some problems.
There's no shame in leaving.
We could just not. This is none of our business.
It is a shame to see people locked in such a struggle, but I understand if this is too much, and I would not want to take the risk of you guys getting hurt.
I hate to
So
see these
I
ghosties
don't-
fighting.
So I don't have to touch a corpse?
I don't believe so, Scraw.
Oh, okay. Good. Let's go. I'm hungry.
Ryan,
Scrawl walks away. Rust, you get like a whiff of the purple smoke and it smells acrid and you're like, "Ugh." They're hungry?
It smells like the puppy from Risk of Rain.
how do you feel about this, Alana?
I mean, it feels bad leaving them. I'm just picturing myself in their shoes, you know?
I get what you mean.
I don't know if we can help right now.
I'm also not sure if we ever come back to this place, so...
Oh my god, if you two are going to mope about it back there, fine.
No!
Scrawl freezes.
What the fuck are you talking about, Nora? Look at yourself.
Shut up. Scrog, go touch a dead body.
No, you don't. You do not need to touch a dead body. I'm not risking one of you guys falling. Russ is gonna keep walking. In the end, we still have the mission to do.
Scrawl squints.
Does the group venture forth?
Unless you stop him, Russ is gonna keep on walking.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a final call.
It sounds like an agreement, so I take it as an
Mhm.
agreement, and the group moves on. You leave that behind. As you do, the sun begins to set in the gloomy cavern, but you feel like you hear, just on the wind, the clashing of steel and metal.
At least they have each other.
They can make out in death, in undeath. Just two
At least they're
corpses
not
smooching.
alone.
Otherwise,
They might be the type that just loves to fight. And this is basically their heaven. Who knows?
Otherwise, as a group, you can continue on. There's a destination up ahead that you might like.
Huh?
Bless.
Ah, yes.
The
3 rations!
the Vulgar Brigade has been updated.
I go snore me.
So, firstly, before that, let's give you a little look-see.
Oh.
In time, you begin to start to exit the really narrow canyons, and eventually, you begin to see fire on the horizon, smoke from fire on the horizon. Getting closer, you see large brick or large buildings of masonry. They're a bit shoddily constructed, but decorated beautifully with all variety of painted flags that flap in the wind. Soon you begin to see some commoner orcs that are walking around. They kind of like harry to you and keep a distance. But otherwise, as you get closer, you do see more of that familiar writing that you saw on that decrepit sign that you saw a long time ago. It seems that that language was Orcish, and you have entered the Orcish town of Crag. At the gates, they are locked, and several people above them call to you. They are Orcish indeed, and they say, "Who goes there?"
Hello? I'm
What?
hungry.
Greetings, just travelers. I hope we do not disturb.
They glance over the party for a bit, and the one on top of the fence that seems to be in charge points down, like right at the gateway, and says, "Here now."
Okay, Rust approaches them.
Yeah.
The large wooden and iron barred door opens up just slightly enough for the hulking orcish men who are here to come through.
Open the door just a little.
They seem to like be giving leave to cross through. Who will try to pass?
Scrawl will. Thank you.
Scrawl passes into Crag.
I go.
Okay.
Nora passes into Crag.
Russ leaves. No, Russ also. Russ also enters.
Rust enters Crag.
I'll try.
As you do, one of them places
No.
a large hand against your chest. Where do you think you're going, Missy?
To town?
Give me that bag. I need to see it.
I gotta check what's in my bag real quick. I gotta make a mental note. Where's my character sheet?
As a note, this is happening in broad daylight, so everyone else sees their friend getting harassed.
Yeah, no, Russ is gonna immediately turn back. He's like, hey, yeah, what's the problem?
You travel with scum. We're making sure it's addressed.
What the?
You mean her?
Of course, the fucking knife ears.
You can see her ears?
I,
Wait, you have 4 sets of ears?
Russ
You
turns
have
around
4
to
ears?
Nora.
I did not know.
Have you not seen that? What do you mean?
No, I just see her cat ears. Do you have 2 more ears under your hair?
It is true that they
No.
never went away. You got corrupted with new ears.
Wow,
Guess I
you
do
must
just
be
have 4 ears.
She,
I have a
she
question.
can hear twice as good.
Yeah,
must
do
hear
all my
really
ears
well.
work?
Mm-hmm. It also helps in your
Weird.
passive perception.
Wild.
That is.
Amazing.
I love that.
Holy
Well,
I
so-
never knew you had 4 ears.
So, Russ approached like, was because she's an elf?
Because she's an elf? Because she got involved in shit she shouldn't be getting involved in.
Whoa! You mean like the situation up here? And Russ kind of points towards the top of his head, signaling towards the ears.
They kind of like glance to you. Were you born like that, kid?
What, you mean me?
They nod.
Probably without the mask, but yeah.
Then you have nothing to worry about.
Listen, she's gotten herself. She made sure that we were properly protected. If anything should happen, she's under my care.
They still request your bag. Are you willing to hand it to them?
Yeah.
They snatch it unceremoniously and kind of like throw it open. They dump it out onto the dirt and just kind of like sift through everything that's there.
Russ actually, he just nonchalantly flips it over,
What do you
or does he
flip it
actually
over?
like? No, like do they just like nonchalantly flip over the bag and let everything fall out?
That is their goal to do.
Russ will immediately stop it. Hey, it's fine. We can check the bag, but there's some stuff that's fragile in there. All right.
They kind of like look to you, look back at Alana, look back to you. Very gently drop it onto the ground.
Yeah.
Any of
No,
the glass items,
listen,
like, they clink and clatter, but they're fine.
if it needs be, we could try. We're gonna do our best to play by your rules here, but at least make sure that none of our shit gets destroyed in the process. All right?
No promises.
Yeah. Let's
in-
see about that.
In
Unless
due
it
time,
helps.
though, the guards sift through everything. They seem contented at the end of the day. They toss everything back in the bag and shove it into your hands again, Alana. Hot diggity.
Thank you.
They allow you to
Am I-
enter.
All right. She'll walk through.
No, Russ is gonna just walk by her side, just so there's no like anybody else trying to fucking do anything funny.
The townspeople do seem to give Alana some glares, but it seems, strangely enough for Alana, it's a little less judgmental. Most people look at you just for the curse you have. This time they're looking for you because of the race you are. It's like, oh, this is refreshing. These guys are
Say
just
don't
racist.
die.
Please, everything all right?
There's a singular storm cloud following Scraw.
Sorry.
It's
I
okay.
love that. I love
Scrawl's
also
in a
that.
bad mood.
Exciting.
I love that every time the thunder like crashes, like Scraw's mouth opens and Jesus, he's mimicking the thunder noises.
That's exactly what's happening. Scraw's just making random storm noises because he's bored.
Practicing his mimicry.
It's so real.
It's canon. It's canon. It's happening in game.
Nevertheless, the crew is able to safely enter Crag, and you have the entire town to do what you please with. It is freely open. The townspeople, although they are hesitant around one of you, still give due and proper to the rest. You can do anything you want here, including get your rest now.
Yay.
I would love to rest, but
Sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say before I rest, Scrawl would want to find like a bucket of water to bless.
Bless the water.
There's a nearby stream that they get a huge bucket of water for you, and you are able to bless it in your due time.
I would like to say that Scrawl blesses it like a bird taking a little bird bath.
Whoa.
God, that's a damn aggressive
Bird
bath you're
bath.
having.
As you finish your bless, there is a loud thunderclap, and everyone's like, "Oh wow, gee, oh
You should take a bird bath now.
It's a very powerful god, you see.
Alright. Take the water from the stream, you go bless. And there it is.
Scrawl takes it very intense showers.
I'm actually trying to see what is the best way to do this.
What are you doing?
Trying to see if they have a facility here to fix my vampirism.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It has been a hot moment since you've had an actual town to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm getting attacked by a cat. Oh.
Let her say hi.
She did say hi. I threw her away.
Oh no.
No!
Yes. So they have a witch doctor here. This one deals in shamanistic healing. It is not traditional medicine as you guys might be used to in a normal town, but still nonetheless effective. These are the methods that they are able to do. They are able to do some simple blood transfusions. They can also do a transfusion with one of their citizens like you've done in the past, but you'd have to convince them, so good luck. They can also perform a bloodletting. They also have some hearthstones that are for sale.
Ooh. Need to reread the Hearthstones.
Let's see.
So I just see that the Hearthstones reduce a vampire to 1 HP as it's cured.
It's basically a full cure of vampirism.
Oh. We just like carry it with us?
If you wanna.
Hearthstone. Vampirism is reduced to 1 HP and is cured. I'm assuming, wait.
The vampire also goes for people afflicted with vampirism. That's just my poor writing, don't mind me.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So yeah, okay. So if we would use a Hearthstone, it would just cure our complete vampirism, but it also sets our movement speed to 0. And we need to take a long we need to take a long rest before it turns normal.
But
okay,
look at you about to take a long rest.
That's true, and I do have 35 vampirism.
That is quite high.
We could also do bloodletting, which I don't know. I feel like Hearthstones are gonna be expensive.
That seems logical.
So I'm okay with just getting a bloodletting. But that's the one where I have to convince somebody to do it with me, right?
Oh my god, cat, stop attacking me. I'm trying to read.
But that's the transfusion, actually.
Yeah. Bloodletting's just real painful.
Okay, but also, like, I'm checking right now. They have to make a DC 50 medicine check on a failed save. Like, is that still
That
is
is
that still thing, so...
that is if you guys are trying to attempt it yourself. It's under more safe conditions here, but
right.
you you should have healing available during the process. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, that's
You cannot benefit from a long rest if you're dead.
that's. I
Russ,
mean,
That is
we're gonna
the
have a
longest
permanent
rest.
long rest. The longest rest.
Russ, how vampiric are you, Rust?
Give me a second. Russ bites himself to check his blood and just go. Yeah,
Yes,
it's about they're like 35.
the tannins. You can really taste them.
Maybe we should just convince some people to do blood transfusions.
I mean, how are you guys doing? Russ turns to both Scraw and Alana.
Scrawl tries to bite his wrist.
5?
I'm fine.
See, I feel like I've read this in books somewhere where somebody gets bitten, they say they're fine, and then they just turn into a vampire. Are you sure?
Like,
Covers
give us a
bandage on
one
hand.
Out of, like, how much out of 100? Give us a rating.
I gotta go open my sheet again.
For a second, I thought you were just like, I gotta go, and she
gotta
runs
go.
away.
I gotta go.
While you investigate curatives, I'm going to give this cat food.
She runs away. Russ grabs by the tails, like, up, 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 up. Show those arms. Show those. Where are the bite marks? Where are they at?
I think mine's 0.
Good, good. That means
my
me and Laura are, as usual, the most fucked up. As it
Yeah.
should, honestly. As it should. We can bloodlet as homies.
I
Whoa.
just have a little bit of spice in my vein. It's like just enough for that nice tingle, you know?
A little spicy, you know.
Yeah.
Basically, like, just
Yeah,
it's like
your
one
blood's-
teeny slice of jalapeno and you pick all the
Mm.
seeds out of it.
I was gonna say, yeah, your blood is lightly salted. It's fine. It's okay. Lightly vampirically salted.
Bell pepper spicy.
Man, that's
Exactly.
extreme.
Oh man.
Alright, DM.
That's me.
I'd like to find the strongest looking man.
You find
I'd like
a
to find the weakest looking man.
you find a very strong-looking man. 2 of them, in fact, standing over by a large building. You know that this building, while the other ones are made of like large stone and masonry, this one seems quite older and does not seem to be of Orcish architecture. So it's just something you notice as you approach it. But you approach these 2 men. They have very long spears and they look very beefy.
Wait,
They blink.
I need a blood transfusion. I'd like to arm wrestle you for it.
Wow, I had the same idea with. Can I? You know, if she takes you, can I take you? I had the same idea actually.
Alrighty. First, give me a persuasion check.
Oh lord, it's
me
doing
If Rust can aid, if you're proficient, you may
What's
aid.
your? I'm not proficient, but what's your persuasion?
Yeah, if you can,
score?
if you also want to trade positions, you may do so.
You have a 1.
one.
I also have 1, so we're
Can I guidance this?
Sure.
Scrawl gives like a big old pat on the back.
You can. You got this.
Hold up. 15.
Huh?
15.
Pretty strong.
Understood. And now, Scraw. Please roll 1d6.
Oh, what? No, uh-oh.
As an
Oh,
arrow
uh-oh.
hits you in your shoulder for casting intent.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh,
Understood.
No, oh,
Nora, your roll becomes a 1.
Right? Didn't you have that fuckery going on with what's this? God.
I do have DM inspiration, but I did not use it just now.
Oh boo! You fucking oh no fucking boo! Okay, whatever.
narratively, what happens is you go over to perform your guidance, and you feel the spell go through, but something goes wrong with it, and you're not quite sure what. Additionally, when this happens, upon whoever you cast the guidance on, your words just get all jumbled and mumbled, and you can't quite know what you're saying.
Huh?
I think I just had a stroke.
I think that's exactly why we need the blood transfusion.
I don't know much about that, but you can get out of here. This place has valuables.
I mean, the only thing we kind of need is, like, you know, for blood transfusion, like your blood, we don't really need coin or anything.
None of our problem.
Scrawl looks at his little bird claws and wonders what went wrong.
Where did I go wrong? Do they in this town, do they still operate, just by looking around while we're in town, do they still operate on gold, or is this more a bartering society?
They do mostly barter amongst themselves, but they will certainly take gold if you have it. They are not opposed to it.
I opened the
Come on, don't be a bitch. Arm wrestle me for your blood.
I mean, are you scared to lose?
No, we're scared to hurt you when we win.
I mean,
Do
that's pretty
it!
polite.
Well, I mean, if
Don't like words, you big man. Put it to action!
They are non-budging. Your silly words mean little to them.
well, my friend over here takes the more aggressive approach, I'd like to ask at least, you understand there are valuables around here, then at least for your services, could we increase the valuables in this town? And the rest kind of puts reaches back into his pouch and pulls out like 5 gold pieces for each.
They begin to just like boisterously laugh. Oh, that was rich. Oh, good one, bird boy or cat boy. Get my animals mixed up.
Right. Okay, fellas. Well, your loss. Could have had a lot more with that statement, but fair enough. Let's just gonna walk away. So,
I punch you in the face next time I see you two. What the fuck?
we could cause a forceful blood transfusion. We could just beat them until they bleed.
I don't know how to be nice to people. I don't know how to.
To be fair, Nora, this was one of your best attempts, so I'm pretty proud of you.
It was a good attempt. I don't know what went wrong. I felt like I had a stroke.
I do not know. You know what? It's fine. Just where's the
That was like
where's
the best
shaman?
I've worded in a while, but then it just
You're-
kind of came out like diarrhea from my mouth.
Russ puts his claw hand on Nora's shoulder. It's okay, dear. You'll be fine. Just
I'm very
We're
upset about.
we can work on this for next time. It's all good. Regardless, when you get rid of the spicy shit in our veins. Where's the shaman?
You head over to the shaman's place. It is a rustic affair, but it is no less effective. They're willing to barter and or trade with you for the spiciness in your veins. What would you like from them? What are you requesting?
Stones.
Stones could be good. How much would your pricing be also when it comes to like assistance in the idea of bloodletting?
For a hearthstone, I could part with them for 350 gold. For a simple transfusion, it should be no more than I would say.
Give me a persuasion check. This is more just determining the
boy.
price. It has a range, and I just don't know what it is.
Understood. Persuasion.
Sad, but that's how it is. For you, we will do 50 gold.
Ah, wow, that is quite something. Well, I do understand the severeness behind it.
No, we just both
But,
get bloodlettings. Let's just commit.
I do not mind. Would you at least be willing to assist us with bloodletting so we do not do anything wrong?
Oh, certainly. It is my expertise.
That would be prefer if it comes to that then, because 50 gold does seem a little bit out of our reach for now. I ignore the platinum pieces in our pocket.
Hey, Lana Scraw, you wanna watch us get stabbed?
Sure.
Yeah!
Huh.
Before
Let my blood.
Russ does that, because he knows what's gonna happen afterwards, just gonna go like, right, Scrod, just make sure, keep an eye on Alana just in case. Don't want people to do anything funky with her.
Scrawl nods. Scrawl then looks over to Alana and says, "Let's take bets. Who screams first?"
Rust.
Russ leans back in the chair that's filled with bloodletting and just kind of like just slowly turns his head over to the two.
You're on.
You see the orange eyes. You see the orange eyes under the mask, just kind of squint towards both of you.
That's fucking hilarious.
Wonderful.
An additional request of you two.
Hmm?
All blood has its value. If you are getting rid of it anyway, may I use it for my own means?
What would these means imply?
Various simple rituals that will aid me in various religious matters.
It's religion.
I
The
feel like
one-
you should pass for that.
The ones
Hold
you
up.
the ones you would not worship, my dear.
They nod to Scraw and say,
You are paying me to let you live, to be free of the vampiric horrors. I'm simply doing a service on my own kind. If you do not wish to donate it, I will simply spread it out to the dirt.
So essentially what you're saying is, do we get anything in return besides just the freeing of the vampirism, or...
Is there a better goal in mind?
If you can take 10 gold off, I'll let you use my blood.
persuasion check. D6, please.
We suck.
Ain't no way. Hold up.
Understood. But yes, your argument is not very convincing. And she says,
I'm sorry, dear. There is a necessity to make sure that the process goes swimmingly.
So I'm assuming I have your trust as a medicine woman, and also trust for the town in that sense that you're not gonna, how do I say this? You're not gonna use this whole blood for anything that could come back to harm us, right?
I suppose I could curse you with something evil, but no, I don't have any interest in this.
Okay, you can use mine.
I don't, as long as it doesn't get related back to us, I do not mind providing for this town if it helps.
Oh, wait, while we're on this topic, just, so she's a shaman, like a shaman, right?
yes.
Mhm.
Do you know anything about, two desecrated men in a like a ravine, endlessly fighting a little bit north?
So you saw them. They only appear on certain days. It is quite tragic. It is said that they came from paradise long ago.
Where the grass is greener and the girls are pretty? Sorry.
I slapped the back of Nora's head.
Unfortunately not. Although a few days ago we saw a tower of smoke rising from the north.
Wow, no clue what that is. Or was. Okay, I just wanted to know because we saw them coming into town, you know.
Best to let them go about their play.
Hell yes. Okay, please stab me now.
Right. Sure.
And Nora
Russ
puts
looks-
one of the steaks in her teeth. As in, like, she's like bites down on one of the extra steaks that she has.
Do both parties donate their blood?
Sure, I'll donate.
Sure, Russ donates, and he also puts in 2 gold into the pot of what the fuck Scraw and Nora is doing for that Nora streams first.
I'm not betting. It's Lana and Scraw. Fuck you.
Girl
Nevertheless.
looks at Alana. How much gold you got?
Oh. None.
Then why are we betting?
Gotta spend money to make money.
I always put my money in, the group bag.
Well, then I'll take it out of the group bag.
There, 2. 2 gold.
Okay.
Want to do wisdom saves to see who screams first?
Unfortunately
Wisdom
for
saves.
the prospect of screaming, beyond the initial nick she makes with a knife, it is a surprisingly dull affair. You kind of sit in the chairs that they've laid out for you in a reclined position, and your arm is basically tied off to the side so that it drips into a large bowl. Within the bowl, there have been a collection of copper and silver pieces that have been dropped in there as some sort of the ritual that she is doing with the blood. It's a long process, and every once in a while, she kind of slaps your faces just gently, and then dips a liquid into your mouth. You taste the familiar sour and bitter taste of a healing potion.
Why does she still laugh?
Not like smacking you, just making sure you're still awake.
No, it's just I just
Just walks up,
very
just
gentle, like. Come on.
wake up!
But yeah, it is. Although it's not a fun experience, you get extremely lightheaded. This is like the extreme.
Grandma, you're not very gentle with your hands.
This is the extreme form of anemia where it's just you become fucking woozy and dizzy beyond all belief. But after some time, you begin to slowly regain some consciousness, and then you feel your heart slow its beat, and slowly things become less double-visioned and more stable until everything seems slowly back to normal. You will need to rest for 2 days, I believe. Let me double check if that's correct.
I think it was for long rest. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a long rest. Never mind. I was thinking of the other ones.
Yeah, just one. Yeah, it was blood. It was the perform a blood transfusion outside of a safe space.
Yep.
Like safe medical space.
But otherwise, you'll feel better probably in the morning. Otherwise, everything seems to go fine. You're given the remainder of what seems to be the health potion that you had been sipping on for the last several hours. You guys are basically at 1 HP, but blood ain't spicy.
Nora will look down at the blood on top of the money, and she'll just whimper out, "Blood money."
Shut up.
Fuck you, scaredy.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Just everything's echoed from under the fucking mask. It's a tin can. Just makes it more grumbly.
You do note that the shaman passes the large bowls to some assistants she has in the room who have been helping out throughout the time. They take their hands, stir the blood a little bit, and then remove the coins, which they deposit in a little ceramic vase. They otherwise then take the blood away and out of the room.
Girl looks disappointed.
I let lean times drink any drippy drippies I might have had.
Hey. You place the edge of the sword, the sharp end, on any drops that were spilt here and there. You do note after you lift it up, the blood is gone from the soil.
Nice. Was that the good snacky buddy?
The orcs want the good snacks.
Okay, shut the fuck up. You need to.
Man, he's just having a. You want to have a normal, friendly conversation and immediately just fucking says that. Come on, back to you fucking
times. I was the center of a dungeon once. I'm big shit.
Now you're a little baby.
Tiny baby sword.
Tiny baby. I go to bed.
The group takes a long rest. You get your level up and everything else associated.
Yes.
Yee!
Level up. My HP goes
Yeah.
back to what it's supposed to be.
Your
Finally.
HP is properly restored. You get all your spell slots back. It's a good time.
I have over 100 HP.
Let's go!
In particular,
Oh
for
my
Rust
God.
and Nora, you guys just woke up from a fucking coma the next day. It's already like
It's
10
a
o'clock in the morning, and you're just like, oh.
It's literally that image that
Yeah.
you saw of like the fucking just like Rust waking up in the morning. It's like the fucking Lemmy image. Where is it? I need to find this again now.
I got it.
Good morning.
Yes, that one. Wait, where is it? Have it. There it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, I forgot about that.
It's just- he's not doing too hot.
Amazing.
I'm officially outside the power word kill range. Yes, yes.
That's what?
What? I feel
Let's just get
very-
to that bit.
Very healthy.
Right, if you say so. Very well. Russ gets out of bed and he just walks with like this little slumped over, but he's available.
Yep. You feel good by noon after you get some food in you. Otherwise, Crag is here for your needs. There are some things that should be done at this stage. Firstly, you can wander around the town, see what's up, talk to people. Additionally, you can consider this area, one, safe, and two, you can also get information for your further travels as you are at the end, as we can see, of this map. We're at the end, but additionally, there is a fork in the road. And with that, we will be traveling to this map. So, because of that, you may want to consider your future destinations.
If I remember, the place you wanted to go, Summer, for your stuff was Winchester, right? Since I
Yes.
know Linwood was the original one, but you know, hee hee hoo hoo.
That's where I lived before. My wife is from Winchester, and then there's a fucker who is a little bit down the road that I would like to go see.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we could take the path down towards Winchester when the time comes. I don't mind that, unless anybody else has something against that.
From the map where you currently are at Crag, there's a path to the right and a path to the left. These paths enter the right path here. Boom, 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 boom. And the left path here. Boom, 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 boom,
No
boom.
way! No way!
What that means, though, you can do a little backtracking if you want and hit some more stops along your way.
We could hit a treasure stop.
We could get loot.
But if you take the right path, you are immediately into an unavoidable combat, but with another long rest. And the way these work, since they're in the same location, you can take them in any order.
Question from the position, and maybe my eyes are deceiving me. The unavoidable combat that's on the crossroad. Like we're no matter what's gonna happen, we're gonna deal
It
with
is
that. Or is that still
within
on
the
path
city.
there?
I just like
Gotcha.
separated them because they're in the same place and just.
Oh, it's
So-
in the city.
Yes.
Okay.
So what Chris just said is that we can take them in any order. So what we could do is we're getting our long rest now. We could come down here, do this skull right here, then go to the treasure, then get a long rest, come to the next city, fight, and then immediately be able to long rest again.
That's not a bad deal, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to also understand. I mean, Skull, we need to remember, is a dangerous event, so we can see what we got there.
A treasure.
Yeah, treasure do be good though. Treasure is good.
We need more money so both of us can get plate, bud.
That's true.
We are fresh.
How are you looking on plate
I
funds?
think we have enough for one of us to get plate, but it would be like all of our money.
Yeah, that would just be you. Probably you, if anybody.
I think it would literally be all of our money, including the gold bar.
I think we should go for the treasure.
Yeah,
That'll help
Yeah.
us in the long run.
Yeah,
that's why, this is on brand. On brand for Scrawl.
That plate money fund up. And or just general spending money and or loot! Loot. Where we will ignore the fact that the skull is next to a salt pillar. It's fine.
Hey.
Don't worry about it.
Do not perceive the salt pillar.
Don't look at
Let's
We avoided one gloom fight. We can do it again.
All that matters, as long as we don't, if we get there, as long as we avoid the bing bong sounds, we should be good.
Yeah, we're
Because
fine.
if me and Summer hear that, I'm gonna go take a bathroom break because oh fuck,
I will shit myself.
I will shit myself. This is a threat.
I'm not telling you it's a threat. But yeah,
Well.
if everybody seems good with it because we're resting now. We go do a fight, we get some treasure, then we can rest, then we can fight, then rest again.
Sounds good to me. I'm down.
So
I do have a question before I forget because I absolutely will forget. How many holy waters did we get from that little splish splash I was taking a bath?
That is a good question. Let's do 1d6 plus 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hey.
That is how it goes. But it's not nothing. It is not nothing.
Okay.
it's not enough.
Can I have one?
I mean, yes.
Yay!
You and HB both get one.
Yay!
Shane, do you have any use for holy water?
Not really, because I don't use a physical weapon.
Waterboard.
Okay.
Waterboard.
Water.
Waterboard vampire with holy water.
We tie a vampire
Oh,
to
God.
a chair. We take holy water. We'll make him chug that bitch.
How did you guys already have any holy water on you before that?
I had
How many
one.
total do you have?
I have 2 when it comes to
Yeah,
holy
this is
water.
my second. Oh yes.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
2 water skins for holy water.
Who wants the extra? Cause I can just sacred flame stuff.
Yeah, technically the main one who should be getting the all the holy water should be Nora, because I also got the holy stuff now with
Okay.
cantrip stuff.
Then Nora will get 2.
Yeah, because I don't have any ways of
Yeah.
holyfying my blade, so
Yeah,
I will
double
take any I
up
can
on the
get.
spicy water.
Okay, yeah. We'll give it all to Summer.
Listen,
Not
I'm
all.
just saying,
2.
if you gathered every cleric in the land and put them all around this lake, you could probably turn this whole lake into holy water, and then we just take the vampires and we throw them in this lake.
That is one way to do it. Yeah.
Easy solution.
But as it is, you remain in the Oak Village of Crag. And you may do anything while you're here.
My dumbass brain just completely we had the conversation of turning the lake into holy water, and it's just like my immediate dumbass thing's like, dude, if somebody pisses in the lake, does that also turn into holy water? It's like, how do we holy piss? It's just oh god. Anyway, let's take a quick look around. What do we have available within this lovely town?
Again, it's rustic compared to what you're used to, but they do have some amenities. They have a general store which has a variety of different things. The shaman person also operates out of here, making a variety of simple potions. Also just depends on what you're looking for. What you looking for in this town? Anything in particular?
What do we need for supplies in that sense? I feel like we could get ourselves some rations just to like. And then again, we do kind of just go from town to town.
30. We have 30
Yeah,
rations.
we should be good. Yeah,
And if
you're
worse
right.
comes to worse, I have my cook's utensils and I can like cook us up something on the road or hunt.
I do feel like we should get some more potions for the simple fact of we're down a member due to obvious reasons, and also if we're going to fight the skull, yeah, that might be something we could potentially need. Also, if they have... Also, for the sake of it, since it would be a shame to lose that combo, potentially ideas for Potion of Haste if they're available
That'll be
anywhere.
very
Oh.
expensive, dude.
They would be, but hey, fighter with haste. We know how it goes.
It's true. But
No.
we could just kidnap a wizard. I'm saying we're about to go to a wizard tower. We could just kidnap it.
At
You want to
very
be our party
least,
member.
at very least, there's no harm in asking. But the amenities you generally see here, there is a cooling room which you have been in. That's where you guys rested. There is a couple shops, one being the shaman's persons and the other being the general store. There is an unidentified extra building, the town hall, a few hovels that are around, and the large strange building where you talk to the beefy guys.
Oh yeah, the building that looked like it was not made by orcs.
Right, we can go in the beef building, right?
I want to go to beef building.
It should
There
be
we go.
noted, it was guarded, so getting in might be a different task altogether, but the building, it did intrigue everyone.
Could I potentially just, if somebody like who seems to be like a member of town like passed by, and just could I approach them and just be like, excuse me, you mind if I quickly check in and ask what building is being guarded over there? Like what kind of building is that?
It is our vault, sweetie. It is where we keep our town's valuables.
Right.
Scrawl perks up.
Okay. Right, that's good to know. Rust immediately grabs the top of Scraw's head like it's a fucking basketball. Just right, okay. Just got to make sure to keep an eye. It's interesting to know at least.
Why does it not look like the rest of the buildings?
It was built sometime before our band moved here. We travel over the mountains, but we like to have a space for when the climate is more accommodating.
Right. Okay. Kind of from the building. What did you? I don't remember. Did you say what type of architecture it is? If it seems so different from the others.
Generally looks like what you would expect to be humanoid, but it's a bit ruined. It's also a bit old, just in general. It looks similar to the construction of the manor that you saw in Paradise.
Okay.
So quite large, generally brick and or stonework, and more ornate, especially since most of the buildings the orcs are using here, they're just like either stone or they're tents.
Okay, gotcha.
Does it look like there's any open window?
There are some windows, they are quite high, and they do seem to be boarded up in some manner.
I'd let go of Scraw's head just to see how he reacts.
Scraw's eyes are pinned on the building.
While the boys are looking at this building, I pick up Alana and I run away with her.
Yoink.
We're going shopping!
Oh,
Where are you shopping?
Oh, like, I seriously did not know that you had like the extra set of ears under there. That's super weird. But like, what if we bought you a headband that like covered them? Like a really cute headband with a really cute ribbon on it? That could like kind of like cover them up so that shit don't happen again, because I don't like seeing people be racist towards you. But also I think it'd be very cute and it'd look nice with your hair.
I feel like that might hurt a bit though. Have you ever like bound down your ears for a long time?
Well, I must have made the weirdest fucking reference that only Chris would understand.
Concern.
I was gonna say, like, what if we got her a happy hoodie?
Okay.
What the
I think a
hell?
lot of people would understand that. Girl with the dogs.
It's a thing that girl with the dogs uses, and it helps like keep animal ears protected in like a safe way.
Happy hoodie?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
a
a
happy hoodie.
it's a little like band. It's like you know the bands that girls sometimes use to make their boobs smaller. It's kind of like that, but for a dog. You plop
Oh
it on
my
their
god,
head.
I know what
I
you're talking
see
about.
I see
Oh my
it.
God.
Oh.
Yeah, it's for when it gets loud when they blow dry them.
God.
Oh.
I
We could not like just like a little loose one that we could put over your regular ears, and then it could like go into a bow on top. I think it'd be very cute, but then also
God.
people wouldn't be like, oh, knife ears. And then if we got to another city that was like more like, fucking. Actually, no. If they have like, an cat issue, then we can just throw Rust at them and he'll kill them.
Huh?
Or something.
Rust
you're allowed.
seizes somewhere.
Just, oh, there's dust everywhere. I hate sand.
But they could use it as just like a little headband. I think it'd look really cute. Also, it'd look very nice with the red dress if we got the red bow.
Oh, you know what? Actually, no, you're right. At
Let's
that
go
point, I don't even care if it's uncomfortable.
Let's go shopping. I don't have girly friends to do this with. I'm very excited.
Is there a nice clothing store here?
The general store services is that they contact one of the local orcs. That is a slimmer dude who does not seem fit for combat, but seems to be skilled with a needle. And he can work something out with some simple ruby red material. You see that they use most of that for their tents here. But with a little finesse, they can probably do something a little more ornate.
Oh. Pulls out the red dress for color matching.
A good example, in fact, in the picture for the town, being something like this, but a little darker.
Ooh.
Like that material, but like this color of the axe.
Deal. I wait here. I sit on a little bench until it's finished.
I wait. I want to see it.
You are just getting the textiles and nothing else on it?
I mean, I'm not sure.
That's up to you. As a
I'm not
player,
good
that's up
with
to you.
fashion.
What if you got like really tasteful like flame designs on it? Because you know that's kind of your whole thing. It's a fiery red dress. I'm just saying, what if it was like really not like something extreme like the stupid boys put on their like war shields, but like something tasteful.
Any suggestions on what that would be, though? I don't normally dress up.
Oh, I got an idea. Wait, here, stay here. I'm going to make it a surprise. I go and I talk with the textile dude. Think butterfly, but the wings are like fire.
Okay, so you're not referencing the really famous orc from out east who's named Guy Fiery?
No.
I'm gonna take a drink.
You continue to do this, and he's willing to do it. Describe what you want, though, for everyone else.
Oh, I think it'd just be like really pretty, like fiery scenery, like a flower, but the petals are kind of like flames instead of actual petals.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or like a butterfly where like the wings are more into like an ember than they are like actual butterfly wings.
This is something he can do.
Yes.
With the embroidery, it would bring the price up to 25 gold.
I'm taking out of the group funds. Fuck you guys.
Scraw's ears start to.
Yeah. It's worth it.
There's a disturbance.
What do you mean?
Something's happened to our goal.
Where are
I
the
smell
girls? Where are the women?
Squints.
Honestly,
Where are the women? I love that reaction. Where are the women?
God.
What are they doing with my gold?
In thinking about it, though, this 25 gold comes exactly from the light crossbow that was sold earlier.
There you go.
Ching.
Cute.
At the end of the day, you receive a very beautifully done embroidered sash. Ideal.
This is what...
It would be ideal for like a desert climate. You know, the kind of sashes that like people traveling the Sahara would put around their mouth, like a scarf. But you can drape this around your head.
This is what I was trying to explain, by the way, for
Yes.
Shane, for Something like this, or like
Oh.
this is what she was explaining to them.
It's hot.
Yeah, they'd probably
Yes!
do it looking more like the top one.
Yeah. I expected as much. That's what Summer's bad at word, but that's what she
That's
would try
okay.
to explain.
You use your best words.
And see, look, now you can use it as like a little hair tire. Oh. Very cute, very cute. You think the boys are done looking at their weird building now?
I mean, I hope.
Over the course, if it's going back over to the boys, Rust would have, for the sake of it, drawn away Scraw further away from the vault and asked if there's a blacksmith in town.
There is indeed a blacksmith.
He would enter the blacksmith building, and all he would want to ask is basically approach him and say, "Excuse me, sir. I just have a small request. It's been a while since I've traveled with it, and I kind of wanted to get a little bit of a make sure it's in shape again." And he kind of clanks the top of his helmet and is just like, "Could you perhaps undent it, for lack of a better word, and just make sure it's properly in shape? And also, if you can, do you by chance have a private room available? I'd like to use my alchemy kit to just make some new bandages, if it's okay."
No private room, unfortunately. You can head out to the west. There's a large set of rocks there. We find peace there. You can also leave to the cooling room.
Can I ask a stupid question? If I potentially give you some gold, could I lend a helmet and just wear that for a bit? I'm not really a fan of showing my face.
He thinks about it for a while, and he decides to agree to that. He hands you a orc-sized helmet. It's far too big for you, but it'll work.
Yeah, just Russ basically looks like a child wearing a dad's like hat, basically, just like having that on his shoulders. He places the gold on the table. It's just, like I said, I'll come back with it. I just don't really like showing my face.
Yep. That would cost you, just for undenting the helmet, would be a total of 5 gold.
Yeah, he puts that on the table, make sure that's paid. And of course, I mean,
Skrull looks at you and just like tilts his head over and over. He's just like it looks like he's trying to figure you out while you're doing this.
You could, I mean, you wouldn't even need to roll it. You see that Rust feels, just even asking the idea that he takes off his mask feels very uncomfortable for him. But he wants to make sure, like, but you could also see that over the course of the journey that you've taken, his mask has taken a couple of hits and it looks in bad shape. So Rust would be sure to say, like, basically mark the hinges, make sure that those are properly in shape again, so it locks in and everything. And he will just basically excuse himself in their corner, make sure it just goes, Scrog, could you do me a favor? Could you turn around for a second?
Bang. Skrull turns around.
Thank you. As you turn around, just takes one glass lance, and then you just hear just clanking of just the helmet, basically, like the latches and everything just unhinging. So he takes off the helmet, and then like just rapidly and quickly puts the other helmet on. Just
Skrull sweats. Skrull wants to look.
all right. Hear the clanking as the mask is basically set onto the table. Appreciate that. How long do you think that will take?
No longer than the day.
He then kind of gives you like a stern look.
A strange habit you have there, adventurer.
Just feel uncomfortable showing my face around. There's no need to worry in that sense for you. I had some bad run-ins, and I just don't want to. Yeah, I just don't feel comfortable having my face around.
All our run-ins are bad, friend. But we show our faces with pride. Consider it.
He doesn't seem to have any malice. He's just like, I'm giving you my worldview. Here are my 2 cents. He then takes your helmet and then begins to like give it some tippy taps, getting all the dents out.
Appreciate it. And then Rust will just probably not even address Skrull at that point. He just walks out. He just walks out and tries to find the rock that was described to him, where there's some privacy outside of town.
Yep, you head behind some of the hovels. There's a few like shrubs and shade bushes, shade trees in the area. But past some of the dead and cracked old trees that are here, there's a large set of rocks. They basically look like tiny plateaus, about 10 feet high, and they almost form a natural barrier wall. When you go in, you see that there is a bonfire, and there's several mats that have been laid out. There are a few other orcs in the area, and they are doing various prayers and rituals, other just religious acts in the area.
And they do not seem to be paying any sort of attention to me or Scraw in that sense.
They might pay you mind as you approach, but mostly just in like waves and greetings.
Yeah, that's fair. But Russ would of course greet back, but he wants to make sure to find a spot where it's like hidden and for himself, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem to mind if Scraw wants to join, but at least so for himself.
You find a particular
follows
rock.
along.
You find a particular rock that's a bit further away from the like ritual area. It's just surrounded by some brush. There's some grasshoppers that hop out of it, but otherwise it's fine.
He plops himself down in the grass and he brings out his alchemy tools and he turns to Scraw and says, could you just give me like 10 minutes or so, Scraw? I just want to get some clean bandages and I'll be right back with you. Okay?
Sure. You sure you don't want help, buddy?
No, this is something I've done for a while. I just prefer to do it in private.
Yourself. Scraw will kind of like waddle away. He'll probably go and pester some orcs or something.
Waddle.
Alright, fair enough. Yeah, then... Fair enough. If that's the case, then Russ is just going to clean his bandages. And once he's done with that, quickly put the helmet back on. And gonna return after 10 minutes. Gonna return back to town to Scraw, basically.
Before they hit town, Scraw probably this whole time has been staring at Rust, still like tilting his head from side to side, like kind of just like thinking a bit. His little birdie brain is going. And I think when it's quiet and they're not like around anyone and it's just them walking in silence, he'll just like out of nowhere squawk out, "Why?"
Rust kind of stops as Scraw calls out, and he's very well aware of what he's addressing. He just kind of stands there for a moment and goes, It's... my old boss told me that I should be honest with the people I travel with. Fine. I should be... He just jitters around and just... It sounds weird to say, Scrub, but I should be dead.
Dad?
Yeah. You remember when I said that I specifically went on this journey for Lady Pride because she helped me out in the past?
Yes, I do remember.
Just kind of looks around. Is there anybody else around? Is this just Scraw and him, basically?
You in this general area. So the way I imagine it is, Scraw gave you space to do your bandages. He just kind of wandered around for a minute and then came back after you were done. So you guys are still in like that secluded corner behind the large rock.
Mm. Before everything happened with us in our group, I used to travel and work with... I used to be a resistance member before them. I used to deal with the vampires before all of this.
Oh.
And specifically, we had a run-in with people where they, for lack of a better word, They jumped us. In our own home, nonetheless. From my knowledge, there were no survivors. So from what I've understood is that I'd like to make sure that that resistance cell stays dead for the sake of everybody. I lost a lot of good people there, and I'd rather have people not remember who that was who died with them.
Gee. So then, how are you here?
That, my dear Scraw, is a good question. And the way how I see it, I can thank Lady Pride for that, probably. She helped me when I needed it the most and gave me a second chance.
Scraw, there is a voice in your head.
Used him like a toy.
Scraw will like Scraw's face will flash a little bit like he got distracted, and he'll like look to the side, but he'll very quickly he'll very quickly turn his attention back to Rust. But he's slightly offended for his friend, and he just has like a little mental shut up.
Well, it was strange, I do trust her. And I'm happy that she trusts me. It's been a while since I had someone put some proper trust into me, so... I appreciate that someone like Lady Pride herself chose me for this matter. And quite honestly, I'm still surprised by that fact. But...
I see.
well, the reason why I hide my face, for one, is of course... I don't like to be recognized. It makes sense. But I also don't really want to... We traveled for a while, Scott, so I feel like you should at least see why I wear the mask, alright? And he'll just grab Scrab by the hand and kind of find himself more like a darker corner. And he will take off the helmet, as you see. The face still of a normal tabaxi, but for that situation of what specifically is wrong with Rust's face, I'm a DM, you must say.
Ooh, okay.
The chat. Oh God, he's beautiful.
Sadly,
Oh no, he's hot!
Oh, there it is.
No, no,
That's
no.
fucking good.
There it is. There it is.
I feel
Oh
like
my
Summer
God.
hunted for that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Oh my god, he's so beautiful.
Oh no.
He's a Maine Coon. Oh my god.
Suddenly,
Suddenly,
Alana
Fluffy.
has a rival.
Fluffy boys are the new hotness.
No, no, no!
It's like a weird tabloid title.
What, fluffy boys are the weird new hotness?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's just one of the random pamphlets you see in the general store.
There you
Five
go,
tips
Miss
for,
Oh,
5 tips
oh.
for interacting with your cat boys.
Hmm.
I hope you understand that you can see why I try to hide myself, because I feel like it would cause a lot more questions than not wearing a mask.
Graw's hackles are like raised a little bit. You see the emotion in his feathers, specifically as you remove your mask, and he just puffs. He becomes like a little ball of feathers,
Yeah,
and he tilts his head, and he for as obnoxious as Scraw is, he kind of seems pensive. He seems a little bit. He seems to be thinking still. His little birdie brain is digesting what he's seeing, and he nods at you. I understand.
As Scraw says that, the entire time Russ has kind of shown his face to Scraw, he looks like he just showed something that is very dear to him, but is also something that he is ashamed of. As Scraw says that, and kind of is sunken in that Scraw has recognized his disposition, he starts putting the bandages back on around his face and puts the big Orkin helmet back on top of his head and says, I prefer to keep these things hidden because this face was attached to a name that people looked for. And and that is exactly why I like to call myself a Rust now. It's an old blade.
All Rust. Your secret's safe with me. I wouldn't tell anyone, but if you ever feel like looking for a solution, some way to not if you find yourself wanting to find a way to overcome that physically and mentally, you know I'm here for you.
You're part of my team. I wouldn't have expected anything else. It'll take a while, perhaps, but once the Bloodlord is dead, my goal still remains the same as it was back in the day. So once that is done, I'm sure we can find a way.
Huh.
Rust reaches down and pats the top of Scraw's head and just walks out of the alleyway and returns to the blacksmith to get his mask.
And so it is given.
I can't believe he has acne.
It's real bad.
It's
Don't hit me!
It's very bad. Like, it's just disgustingly bad. Absolutely.
No.
No,
No
the
smooches.
Bloodlord has the exfoliant. No!
No smooches for the cat man. Rust will take the mask. We'll once again request for Scraw to politely turn around, and then put the mask back on.
Scrawl, when he puts the mask back on, and when it's safe to turn around, Scrawl will kind of like waddle on up and place a hand on Rust's shoulder. He doesn't say anything, but you definitely get the feeling that you, for as flighty and as wild as Scraw can be sometimes, he definitely puts a lot of stock into the fact that he shared that.
Rust will gently pat Rust's hand, and you sense that despite the mask that he has on, his eyes close below it, and you can sense that there's a warm smile under that mask. Now, let's see where our two compatriots are.
Sounds good.
And so the group rejoins.
What did you do with my gold?
What do you think? Does a spin?
Look at
The
that
new accessory.
cute!
Scrawl puffs up and sighs. Says, fine.
Wait, do people already have the outfit and everything? Is that already done?
Yes.
Yeah.
The sash, yes.
So, for the sake of it, Russ is gonna go and say, "So did you find them?" Well, I did not expect that when I went to this place. Right. It's just Russ just looks at Alana. It's just
Oh my
Good.
god, you have him at a loss for words.
listen.
Oh.
It's a very. It suits you, Alana. It suits
It's
you.
hot.
I. Not sure if I would have used those words.
No,
But
I
I agree
agree.
with
I
you.
agree.
No. I was gonna say I agree with her.
I think you should say the whole sentence.
Yeah, Russ. Say the whole sentence.
Scrawl looks at Russ.
Russ seems to be looking at this entire situation, his eyes darting between the three of them. He seems visibly kind of like frozen in this moment. Just get yourself ready, and he's just gonna quickly turn around and just walk out.
Boo! Boo!
Scrawl cackles.
Yeah, his eyes would have just gotten like wide as that statement was he's just walking out. If there's a blush under the mask, no one will know. No one will know.
Because you have
we
bandages
know.
under
We
the
know.
mask.
That's true.
Double security.
You look right, though. Now let's get the fuck out of this racist place. Woo!
Yeah.
To be fair, everyone's been quite nice to you here, except for those people at the gate. Which,
Yeah,
to be
fuck them
fair,
in particular.
they're just guarding their home.
That's true.
But
Also, fuck them.
if you are prepared to leave Crag, that is a thing you can do.
Wait, did we check for supplies to get more potions? Hold on.
Do we need more potions? I thought we all had, like, at least 2.
I mean, we do,
Well-
but we're probably gonna take the skull route, right?
Skull
Yeah, but then
root,
we
and
have
also
these.
it's next to salt pillar? Question mark.
How about for the sake of it, Chris? Is there a catalog of what they have available for like potion types? If so, I prefer to at least inquire what they have.
They have a variety. If there's something in particular you're looking for, just mention it.
I mean, potion of haste would be fun, at least to have one for either one of us.
The shamans that are there discuss it for a little bit, and they believe that they could create one of those. What level is haste? Is it a 3rd level?
Yes.
I think it is 3rd level.
Let me do some things. They believe that they could make one of those for you within the day. It would cost about 2,200 gold.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Potions of speed are potions of haste, and they're very rare.
Yeah. Man.
I miss Boat Boy, man.
Boat boy.
We
Good
could
boy.
buy some regular healing potions, and then hopefully,
Yeah.
like, whatever money we find at the treasure, whatever treasure we find will be enough to replenish that.
A general note, treasure icons aren't necessarily just treasures, they could also be combat encounters. So, something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
They want treasure!
I feel like just having we have the money. How much is the price for at least like we would say like if they have available like 3 graders or 2 graders, anything like that?
The graders, I use the book price, and I don't remember what that is. If someone else does,
150.
there you go.
150 for a grader.
I feel like we should just get like, just for the sake of it, get like 3 of them and just dart those out if they're available.
No harm.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Like, we're gonna need them eventually at some point or another.
Yes, we
Two
have the
or
coin.
3, because if we get 3, that is a lot of our gold.
I feel like 2 would be enough.
That's 300.
I'm willing
two
to.
for our tankies.
2 for tankies.
Could we? Yeah, we do that, and then we technically still have the bar of gold, which I'm assuming we can at any town we can trade that in for proper coin. I assuming.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, so that's not going to be a problem in that sense.
Alright, so just 2?
I'd say 2 of it, just for the sake of it.
Alright, I'm adjusting the group inventory then.
Cha-ching.
Better safe than sorry. Right.
I put the greater in my inventory.
I put another grader in my inventory. Right, do I think
God, I'm still looking back at the happy hoodie pictures.
just happy hoodie alone.
It's
That's a
It's
rent-free
happy
image.
hoodie.
God, imagine a happy hoodie on Rust.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just a cat with a fucking that's under the mask.
Oh my
Just nobody
god.
knows. Those are his bandages. No, I think that's should be good. I think.
Tis fair. Only things that I can think of that haven't been done. Haven't talked about your route at all with anyone. You also haven't investigated the vault. There is also the ritual, like, fire circle that you saw. Incidentally.
I feel like the fire circle could be pretty funky, especially for our very hot and fiery lady over here. Emphasis on the first word.
What do we think?
If nobody does, I don't mind waddling up to that.
Sure.
Can you stop?
Waddle.
Summer?
You got 10 minutes, Shane. Go.
I go.
I follow.
You're heading to the ritual
follows.
circle?
I also follow. Yeah.
Also, yeah, I do that, but then I also out of character. I BRB. I go PP real quick.
Okay. The group heads over to the ritual circle. It's a little later in the day because you guys have spent quite a day here. A lot of the people are collecting, and they seem to be doing a ritual dance that they go basically in a circle around the fire as it increases in size. People keep throwing new logs and whatnot onto it. They also seem to be throwing a variety of herbs into it, or dancing with the herbs, basically putting them in the fire and then taking them out, and then dancing as they create smoke behind them.
Is this something I would have seen before? Does it seem familiar?
Give me a religion check. The answer's probably no, but we'll see.
It could be.
Yeah, maybe once. You probably haven't ventured to Orcish towns very often. Places like this are quite over the beaten path, and you do note that the orcs explore more widely than you have. Whereas you've gone to the wild sometimes, these guys go super far into the wilds. They cross the mountains straight off-road. They go to real dangerous places that other people don't come back from. But because they have their big communal societies, they tend to do quite well. They also tend to be migratory, moving down into the valleys during the warmer months and moving up into the valleys during the winter months.
This seems nice, but I feel like it's not my place to get involved.
Understandable. I wonder just what this ritual is actually for. I find a local.
Hey,
The nicest looking one.
You find one of the ones that are sitting on the large, like, log benches and just, like, clapping along to the rhythmic beats of the drums.
Hello, we're just passing through, but we're interested. What exactly is the ritual for?
This one is for a good snowpack.
Oh,
What? Rust wakes up out of his second sleep. What happened?
They discuss the ritual with the party, and they mention that this particular ritual is for a good snowpack within the winter.
Oh.
You can always ask further questions or elaborate.
How would this ritual be performed?
They basically describe the details of it using a variety of wild herbs that they are able to find. They let the smoke into the air along with the smoke of the various cedar and oak that they use. And through this and through their prayers to the wild, they are able to hopefully conjure good precipitation in what is otherwise the dry winter months to help the mountains flourish, and that thereby brings all the streams, rivers, and lakes good water later.
I mean, that is fair enough. Is this just a ritual in general, or is there any specific deity connected to it?
All of the wild here is valued, but we... It is difficult, my friend. We feel purposeless in this world. We hope for greater things, but it feels as our race is tied at some times. We seek Fleet's guidance at most.
Understandable. We were technically about to leave, but I'm not sure it could perhaps aid in any sort of way.
If you wish to participate.
The woman calls over one of the, children orc over. They bring a small box and open it up. You find what seems to be a variety of sage within it. And this is something you can stick with the fire and join in with the dance.
we do have somebody who's very proficient and makes very beautiful fire.
She does have a way when it comes to such things, yeah.
It is not the magic that makes the fire. It is our hearts.
She kind of nods over to the growing bonfire as the light goes down in the sky. And the flames dance very vigorously as everyone begins to hum rhythmically to the song that's being played. It almost seems as if within the fires there's a horse racing around as fast as it can go.
I'll take some sage and take part. Why not?
Sure. Your town has given me such kind help when it comes to my condition, and Rust looks over to Nora on her condition as well, so why not repay at least a little bit?
Except for the dicks who wouldn't arm wrestle.
Now they can get their own little blessing if need be. Not from us, though.
You also hear
Rust
someone
takes
from
some
somewhere in the crowd. I heard that.
Rust turns around. Rust turns around and says, "Good." Takes a sage and joins.
Scroll will also take a sage. Scroll will is it like dancing, you said?
Yeah, it's a big old fistful of sage. You just light it on fire and you just join in on the dance. The children show the various little dance moves. It's all in like a walking formation as you go around in a big circle around the bonfire.
Scrawl will light the sage and just stick the not lit end in his mouth, and he carries it like that.
Yep. You whip the sage around a few times until the flames are gone and it's just smoking. It has a very pungent aroma, especially since it's so close to your face. But it's a very nice aroma. Burnt sage is nice.
Grawl just periodically, every once in a while, sneezes, but keeps it there.
Alana, come on, you should do it with your little fiery friend.
Huh? Oh, sorry. She's been staring at the fire this whole time, sort of drawn to this almost illusion of a horse that she glimpses, like, occasionally. She'll grab the sage and walk over to it to light it up using the bonfire instead of her own.
You do so. A few of the children clap, although some of the elder orcs seem just they like squint a little. They're like, But otherwise, you participate as well. You feel just a nice sensation as you all participate in this ritual. At one point, after everyone kind of sits down, there's like huge pieces of mutton and other like soups and bean dishes that are being served around, along with a whole lot of flatbread. One of them approaches you, Alana, and they are going to do a thing. If I can do the thing, but can I do it? I cannot, but they approach you, and they speak in Druidic.
Oh.
It seems you are one that is blessed with nature.
I am?
You seem to have a good eye for the wild as well.
I mean, I care for it.
It cares for us. What you may see on your adventures must be truly horrific at times. Know that this world is going to outlast that of all that we do.
It does pain me to see the state that it's going to.
As it does for us. As it does not for my clan, but for our order.
Signifying their druidic nature.
But as the blood settles in the soil, soon one day, the terrors that make this place a sad one will be one where we all rise. All it takes is a little bit of heart.
Then I think I have that. She looks up and looks at her friends.
The man in all his robes gives a firm nod. He then calls over some of the children who go fetch something for him. He provides you with what seem to be dried flowers in a small case. Along with them seems to be a small bag of their seeds. And he says,
If ever in a time where danger is afoot, and you feel that nature is not on your side, plant these and give them water. They will change the landscape for you, in some way or another.
the dried flowers look like this.
Oh, those are pretty.
I love the dude with the bike.
Does he
That's
come
the
with a
shaman.
flower?
He does not.
The orc shaman riding the bike in the background. Don't mind my friend.
I'll treasure these. I thank you.
The man just pats you and hands you more food to make sure you're well fed. Unless anyone has any other business.
Good, yeah.
I think this might be just a small thing, but I feel like over the course of the night, Rust would sometimes, specifically after everything that happened, just keeps on taking a small glance towards Alana and, just making sure that she's okay. But then there's one point where he seems to kind of just, in the middle of dance, just kind of freezes up and looks at her. But that time it felt more like he just suddenly feels this sharp pain come across his body. He just kind of shakes his head, rubs his eyes through the mask, and he just tries to keep dancing through it. Just tries to keep his mind occupied within the ritual.
Dance the pain away.
Oh.
But that, of all things, seems like a good place to end for today. Sir Shane is house sitting because you're so fancy.
Yeah. My alarm went off during that. I hope
Yup.
it wasn't picked up.
It was not.
We did not hear it.
Okay, good.
You better stay
caught
for
it
fan
quick.
art, though.
I will.
Yeah.
Stay for fan art, you say?
I put a link in steak.
You did, but I have to do something first. Do some of that. That'll do.
That'll do.
I'll do, pig.
That'll do.
That, in fact, will do.
That's not what I need. That's what I need. There's
Hollow
my
Knight music, I hear.
wildflowers. It is indeed.
I hear it.
Closing all my extra stuff, excuse me. I click some
I
of
saw the
this.
cat there for a second.
Just for a tiny moment, just see whoop.
Oh, Hollow Knight music's so good. Yeah.
Also, I want to show this just because it's still so good. So I'm going back in time a little bit, but it's great and I love it. Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
Still
good.
so good,
You
yeah.
did amazing with that. Yup.
I'm approaching the bodies. Never mind.
Purple smoke.
A
Horrible.
purple.
Purple smoke.
Thunder.
I just love that. That's
He's a good boy. He's practicing.
perfect as mimicry. You should take a bird bath now.
I love how Rust looks like a Minecraft character here. He's so
He
fluffy.
does. He
Oh
does.
my god, he
He
does.
does got the Minecraft Steve square head. Just my man is shaped like an entire dice.
Oh, I love the little
Oh.
orc clapping.
Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
buddy.
Buddy.
Slurp.
Yummy.
Good boy.
Slurp.
Nom nom nom.
He's a misunderstood boy.
Oh.
And last but not least,
There she is.
Oh my god.
I'm
fucking
hot. Oh, so good.
Baby.
This is cute.
Luckily,
Baby.
that mask luckily does not conduct heat because of goddamn.
She's so cute.
indeedy do. Thank you for all the art, people. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Yoshi.
Also, thank you all for playing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
thank you.
Running.
Good session as always. Good session as
Good
always.
sesh, good sesh.
And now you might die next session. Sorry.
Nice, finally. God,
All,
God
all of
forbid.
that emotional stuff, all for nothing?
Make
What?
it work. Make it work.
No.
Bonding.
It makes the pain more juicy when it happens.
Bonding is always a death flag. Never get
Listen.
attached.
Russ got to look at Lana and went all fucking blushy-washy. Of course he's gonna die next episode. Excuse me?
No, not allowed, not allowed.
Okay, okay. For now, though, go ahead and say goodbye to stream.
I
Bye,
see.
Bye,
Goodbye.
stream. We'll miss you.
Holy crap.